Yesterday, the S&P 500 index showed new record highs. However, it seems that the rally in the US stock market is gradually losing its steam. Oil followed the trend and edged higher as well in the morning session. The global economy remains under pressure from the coronavirus pandemic. On Wednesday morning, Brent moved up by 0.5% to the level of $64.08 per barrel. The North Sea grade is expected to trade in the range between $62 and $65 a barrel. It is also possible that the quotes will rise to $67.50 a barrel. WTI crude grew by only 0.4% and settled at $60.60. On the one hand, a North American grade reacts promptly to the recovery of the US economy. However, local producers tend to ramp up crude supply, thus increasing competition. Judging by the previous records, oil prices in the range of $65 to $70 per barrel is the best condition for the US shale oil producers to maintain positive balance, so this factor limits further growth of crude prices. WTI is forecast to trade in the channel between $59 and $62.50 a barrel. An increase in the US crude inventories will stop the uptrend. The industry data was published yesterday evening. A sudden strengthening of the Russian ruble became a major event for the local market. Both the dollar and the euro retreated by 1.5 rubles. The reason for such a shift was the telephone call between Vladimir Putin and Joe Biden. The US president suggested that the two leaders meet in a third country to discuss issues that the US and Russia are facing. They also discussed the situation on the border with Ukraine. Market participants took it as a signal that the military conflict can be avoided. Amidst this optimistic background, the Russian currency and the local market regained ground. On Wednesday morning, the dollar-ruble pair slipped to 75.50 and is expected to hold between 74.80 and 76.20 rubles per dollar. On Tuesday, the euro depreciated against the ruble due to the reason that we mentioned above. Today, the euro-ruble pair was holding at 90.30. According to analysts, the price will stay in the range between 89.50 and 91.20 rubles per euro. Yesterday on Forex, the euro showed signs of further growth, but failed to develop a strong uptrend. The euro's upside potential is limited by the third coronavirus wave in Europe. The situation remains challenging, and we will keep monitoring the progress in the region. Investors need to be cautious in the coming days as markets will evaluate the jobs report in the US that is due on Thursday. Also, later in the day, the Beige Book will be published in the US. This report from the Fed gives an overview of the economic state of the country. It is traditionally released 2 weeks ahead of the Fed's monetary policy meeting. And that's all for now. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.